We all love the idea of New Year, New Me, the vision board, clean planners, fresh start. How do you actually make that version of yourself stick? In this video, I'm sharing 6 things I do to prepare for the best year ahead. And those are realistic tips, and I actually use it while working my 9 to 5. Whether you're watching this video on December 30th or July 15th, I hope this tips helps to have the fresh start whenever you need it. And actually, tip number 5 is the one thing that most people miss and the reason that most resolutions fail before February. Let's get into it. The tip number 1 is clean your physical space. I did this last month. Having the clutterless, clean space is really important, especially when you're trying to set yourself up for success next year. It feels really good. In Japan, it's called Oosouji, and purpose of it is to purify spaces, drive away bad spirits, and welcome good fortunes for the new year. And I highly recommend doing this before the other 5 tips that I'm about to share. Alright, so now let's talk about tip number 2, which is reflect on last year. Many people skip this part and just jump right into like what you want to accomplish next year and what you want to do, or the visions. And it's because thinking about the future is more fun. Planning is way more fun than actually like reflecting and review on what have done, what you accomplished and what you didn't accomplish. I actually did the journaling a few days ago to reflect on my past year. Yeah, it's kind of crazy once you're an adult, you stop handwriting many things. Most of the things are on your phone or on your laptop, and it's actually fun to spend time, sit down and do your work with your hand sometimes. So I highly recommend just taking time, maybe make a cup of tea, sit down with your favorite notebook and just journal. The prompt I use for my reflection from multiple creators, I used the prompts that was shared by Maddie Mayo on her podcast, Chief of Self. I really like that podcast. I have been using prompt by Ali Abdul for the first few years. The few that I like to share. What created energy this year? What drained your energy this year? What did I not do this year? When I did feel most content and at peace, and why? What habits or behaviors held you back again? Which of these habits or behaviors pushed you forward? What achievement are you most proud of this year? What will you do differently? What surprise did you deal with this year? What is something you bought this year that you're in love? What is the best podcast or book you consumed? What made you happiest this year? So yeah, you don't have to use all those prompts. Whatever you feel more, however the feel you like to do this, I think it's all good. And obviously, like, I don't want to share everything that I wrote for those prompts, but a few that I like to share, or just kind of like reflecting on the goals, the vision I set at the beginning of this year. I kind of went through those by going through those prompts. And I can pop that screen right here, that vision board-ish that I did. The vision board I created for this year at the beginning of this year. And I think I used that template by Chloe Shi. I really love her contents and I really look up to her. So I'm not sure if I do the same thing next year, but just kind of thinking that what the wireframe is there. So, and I'm looking at my computer as well. The theme for this year was more failures. And I don't know if I actually achieved that this year because I feel like I had so many wins, but I didn't really challenge myself with many other things. Yeah, so I'm happy with the progress I made this year, but in terms of the theme, I might stick to the same thing next year, or I just tweak it a little bit. And I had 3 core goals and 2 moonshots. The core goals were embrace my friendship, keep growing, discovering myself, and YouTube hustle. First one, overall, I hang out with my friends more. There's a few friendships I rediscover from when I was super young or from university. So I'm very grateful for that. However, and then I also hosted a ton this year. I challenged myself to host at least once every quarter. And I did like Valentine's Day. I did a few dinner dates with my friends. I did wine and cheese nights. I did Friendsgiving. Friendsgiving was a huge one because we invited 30 people. There was like total of 30 of us in the house, in the apartment. And we rented the whole tables and chairs. And that was a big thing. And I prepped for a week in advance. I sent an invite. And it was like a super cool thing to have all the people that we care and that we love into one space. So that was really amazing. And yeah, I hope to do that more next year as well. I still struggle with texting back a lot. That's something that I'm still working on myself. There's something, I don't know. I just like, I'm really bad at texting back, or I'm really bad at just texting in general. So that's something that I really, really like to focus next year as well. And keep discovering myself. I said going back to therapy, and I did that this year. I had one therapist online for a few months, and I actually had to break up with her. And then now I have a therapist that I really like, and I'm excited. I just started like a month ago, or a month or 2 ago. So it's still at the beginning stage, but I'm proud to say that I can check off that from my list. And I said start a new hobby. I was thinking about the interior design, and I actually worked a lot on this apartment this year. We bought so many new furnitures from Facebook Market. We built the whole shelf in the living room. I might start working on this project, which I've been wanting to do for so long, to paint that kitchen island we have. It's like a really basic IKEA one, and it's great. And I really not a fan of the color. So I picked up a few colors. Might start doing that later in this video. Stay tuned on that. And then the other one I said was keep playing sports, moving my body, challenge myself physically. I'm like a B+ on this one. I really made it a habit to go to the gym a few times a week this year. And I'm really proud of myself. But I also wanted to play more golf, play pickleball. Like I never played pickleball. So I kept saying like I want to do that this year, and then it never happened. So that should be on the next year list. I said read. Another one was read 15 books. I put that on screen here. I think I read 11 books so far, which I'm still happy about. I think that's a win. Like 1 book a month, that's really a win. When I said 15, I knew that was a little bit challenging, as it should. Another one was visit 8 new places, and I did that this year, and I'm very happy about it. And another goal was YouTube hustle. I wanted to post a long form video at least once a month, and I wanted to start a short form video series. For the second one, I actually did it. I started a series called 25 Things I Learned in 2025. I think I went to lesson 13 or 14, and I kind of stopped. So in that way, it's a failure. And actually, that's a failure. Yeah. Now I think about it, I did have failures this year. Like a lot, probably, but I just don't remember because I just keep thinking about what I accomplish or succeed. Anyway, posting once a month, that definitely didn't happen. Let me see how many posts I actually did this year. I did 7 posts this year, so 5 more. But yeah, YouTube is definitely something that I really want to prioritize next year. I found myself, I procrastinate a lot when I know there's something bigger that I need to or like I should work on. And I'm being productive to procrastinate on those things. So it's not really actually a good way of like being productive. It's like I know there's other things that I need to take care of or I should take care of, but I'm just avoiding it. And that doesn't mean that I'm not like forcing myself to do it, because generally it's really exciting and I'm really passionate about doing this. It just sometimes it's really like starting it takes more work, or I don't know. There's something I should definitely work on. The moonshot, let's go to the moonshot. 50K subscriber at the end of the year. I don't know why I was so delusional. Very interesting. One day, that probably next year. Another one was host my first weekend cafe at my apartment. That didn't happen this year, but I definitely feel I'm the most comfortable ever to do this. And I kept telling to my friends next year for my birthday, which is in May, I really want to do this for my birthday. Like I want to host a cafe here to invite people for my birthday and we just have a good time, gather around. Oh, and then the one big life change. I got a new job this year. I quit my last 9 to 5 and got a new job. It's the same marketing coordinator job, but I'm really grateful about this opportunity and I'm genuinely excited. It definitely came with the new challenges and difficulties, and it's kind of like a different type of job than the last one. So I'm learning a lot every day. It's been 6 months. I started this job in June, and just everything is up in the tradition. Like it's insane how. But think about it. Like you're spending at least 40 hours a week for this one thing. If you're gonna do that, might as well you love it, or you like how that job treats you. Definitely affect your life quality, and everything comes with it. So I would like to say I'm very grateful, and it's such a privilege to be in that position that I just feel the most stable, and I feel very content with my life and my routine. That's a big takeaway from this year. The year before, I was definitely struggling with my income, kind of the job I had. Like it was a great job and I loved everyone there. It wasn't fulfilling me in a way that my new job fulfills me now. So yeah, that's a really big life change. I'm excited for the new year, and that leads me to tip 3. Now that you reflect on everything, now it's time to write down everything you want to accomplish. This is where you dream big. Write down everything, even some things that might take more than a year to accomplish. From small habits to big dreams, even the feelings that you want to have or lifestyle you want to have, it's helpful to see all of them on one piece of paper together. When you see it all laid out, you might see some patterns or the direction that you might didn't even realize that you have. I again did it on the physical notebook because that's kind of how I like it. I didn't do it in one sitting. I went to a cafe, I did it at home, I did it before bedtime. Just don't restrain yourself and take your time and then play with it and see what you come up with. Now, tip number 3 is maximum of having 5 goals rather than 10 goals. I think where most people get kind of overpromise themselves when you think about the New Year's goal, what you want to accomplish next year based on your reflection from last year. It's super easy to be like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that, blah, 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 blah. But the study shows that having 3 to 5 things on your list is more productive and actually achievable than having many more goals. So I highly recommend you to do that. You can have one for relationship, one for work, one for your personal, I don't know, however makes sense for you, but that's kind of what I try to do every year. Now, next part, tip number 5 is create system. And I will attempt to explain this while meal prepping my breakfast muffin. Once you set your 3 to 5 goals, like how do you achieve that goal actually? And I think the key thing is to have system. What I mean by that is to have realistic plan and have idea of like how you achieve those things. For example, next year I really want to have the YouTube hustle. And how do I do that? Well, I have 9 to 5, so I know for the weekdays I have to be realistic how many hours I can spend on YouTube. So maybe I will decide every Sunday I want to have like a planning session on upcoming weeks. And I started to use weekdays as my short form editing time because it's much quicker than the long form one. So maybe I will decide, okay, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I want to spend 1 hour after work for short form content. And on the weekend, I'll focus on the long form content, something like that. If your goal is to run a marathon, then maybe what you do is to sign up for a marathon in like next October, and then you can have kind of schedule to get to that. And I think having the system is kind of similar to having the recipe. Like, sure, maybe you want banana muffin, but if you don't know how to make it, then how do you get the banana muffin? Having a system is where actually how you get to achieve all your goals while having a full-time job or maybe being a full-time student. If you have a realistic system, it's much easier to be able to do it. I'm actually using leftover ham for this breakfast muffin. This is actually what inspired me. So I wanted to use it all. And once you know, okay, you have a weekly plan or monthly plan, then the next is to create a habit. Atomic Habits by James Clear is a very popular book. If you haven't read it, I highly recommend it. It's a great January first year read, and it's actually really easy to read as well. But he talks about creating a habit has this 4 cycle. I put it on the screen. I think what's important is to be 1% better than yesterday, or just those small gradual changes is the key. And once you know every day, okay, maybe I want to walk 15 minutes outside, and that's towards to your goal to be healthier next year. Or I want to spend 15 minutes working on my next video, and that's for me to have my YouTube hustle. You can have either put it on your calendar or you have something on your wall to measure those things. I recently got this app. I think you pay $9 for the whole subscription, forever, and you can put it on as your widget on your phone. And every time, right now, one of my goals is to be more physically healthier, and stretch is one of them. I have more mobility. So I challenge myself to stretch every day for 15 minutes, and you can just check it off on your app, and it's really satisfying too. So yeah, Tip number 6 is to make vision boards and set intentions. In Japan, there's a thing called Kakizome. It literally means first writing, and it's a way to set intentions, hopes, or New Year's resolutions for the year ahead. It can be a single word, personal resolution, or a short poem. For this year, I chose Ichinichi Issho. It means one day, one lifetime. I picked this intention because I really like the quote from the bear, every second counts. It's a little bit too intense, but the idea is to be present and don't make every day count for either your resolution or your goal, or just be disciplined in general. I think this year I really want to be more present, and being present means really focusing on what you're doing at the moment, whether it's if you're cooking, just focus on cooking rather than playing something background and be distracted by music or podcasts or videos. Or if I'm scrolling my phone, I really want to be intentional that I'm doing it versus I do it for the sake of filling out the time or because I'm just bored. Now let's talk about vision boards. To be honest, there's so many YouTube videos talks about how to make vision boards, so I don't want to spend too much time on this, but I will just share my process and what works for me. First, I pick images based on the small goals I set earlier. So tip number 4, I explain set 4 goals rather than 10 goals. And this year I set community, health is wealth, be present, and YouTube hustle. Those are less of the phrase or more like a vibe or energy, but I will try to pick 5 to 6 images per goal so that my vision board doesn't get too cluttered. Another small tip I have is to pick images that you took yourself in the past. For example, if you've been to the place that you really like and you want to bring that energy that you felt at the place to your future, you should use them. Or if your goal is to go to the beach more, then use the image you took at the beach versus just picking a random image from Pinterest. I'm just gonna put the vision board that I made for this year up here. I actually used 2 images in here that I took in the past. For the community, I picked the image I took at the bicycle event that I went last year. I really liked it. I also have a picture of Run Club. I'm kind of interested in the idea of it, and this year really want to try being in some sort of club. I talked about it earlier in the video. I really like that idea of hosting. I like to keep doing it this year as well. Another goal was health is wealth. The older I get, I'm more realizing I want to go to the gym, I want to run more, not because I want to be some specific shape, but rather for my longevity. Random goals that I have is I really want to be able to do 3 pull-ups by the end of this year without any help. I also want to be able to do split. Mobility is a big thing that I'm working on right now. So I have that 2 images up here, as well as just going for more walks. Like I set myself a goal to walk 8,500 steps. My goal is to do it every year, but I'm starting for the Q1. I set like 4 days a week. I want to achieve that, and so far I'm doing good. So I have that as well. And just running in the city. I live in the city, and it's not like I'm not able to do run. I just need to set time to do it. So run is another big thing I want to do this year. And last year, one thing I didn't do is to play pickleball or play more golf. Yeah, I just need to like really set time to do those things. So I have that picture of people playing pickleball as well as the golf. Be present. It means less screen time. I know so many people say that, but my screen time is really bad. It's like 6 hours right now. I really want to get it down to 3 hours. So I have that picture of that 3 hour screen time on here just to kind of manifest that into my life, as well as girl writing on the journal. I really like the idea of handwriting. I should do more of that as well. And like random hobbies that doesn't need technology. For example, scrapbooks. I have so many washi tapes that I really want to get back into. I really like collecting it when I was like in elementary school, even junior high school. And I still have those to this day in my apartment. So I want to use them this year. And I want to start making sourdough. I know so many people on the sourdough TikToks. I got this really beautiful Dutch oven for my Christmas last year, and I've been enjoying it, cooking more, using it. So sourdough will be really cool things to kind of do it regularly, you know. I also have a picture of people meditating at the temple. I can technically do it whenever I go to Japan, just sign up for it. So I want to bring that energy in my day-to-day, that maybe do meditation, do journal more, practice those mindfulness, like in an intentional way to be present. I have that as well, and just YouTube hustle. Like I keep saying it in the last couple of years, but every year I feel more and more be more connected to the idea, or it's less of the dream but more like a goal. Right now there's a long form content, there's short form content, and I get so distracted with so many things, like should I do LinkedIn, should I do TikTok, should I do Instagram? And at the end of the day, what I really like creating is YouTube videos. It's the long form videos, and then it's like I really like to use that form of content or video to play with my ideas and like have that momentum for my creation. So I'm really excited for it this year. Anyway, this video getting super long, but if you watched until the end, thank you so much. I really appreciate it, and I hope I'll see you in the next video. Have a good day, everyone. Bye bye.